Welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Hello and welcome to Arsenal Kids Podcast. My name is Madi. As usual, I'm joined by my super co-host, Ben. And it is great to have you here to join us for this episode.
Yes, hello listeners and welcome to episode number 92.
Thanks, Ben. And what are we talking about on Arsenal Kids Podcast this time?
In part one, we're looking at the women's team who have progressed through to the semi-finals of the Continental Tires League Cup.
After 4-0 win against London City Lionesses. And then in part two,
we're going to do a legend profile on women's team legend Rachel Yankey.
And her career and journey in an Arsenal shirt.
But before we get further, a quick moment to say thanks to you for listening to us. We would love for you to leave a review or follow us on social media as one of the best ways to grow our community. Just email us at info@arsenalkids.com or search for Arsenal Kids on either Facebook or Twitter.
Let's keep this adventure going together.
Let's indeed. And straight then into the women's team where Jonas Eidevall named several changes to the side that lined up against Manchester City at the weekend, with Kim Little returning to the starting lineup for the first time since December.
And championship side London City lined up with a point to prove.
They did, and they stifled some of our early attacking chances. Caitlin Ford came incredibly close to opening the scoring as Katie McCabe floated a perfect cross to the back post, but our Aussie winger was denied by the Lionesses keeper. We continued to bear down on the London City penalty area with wave after wave of attack, and we relied on Leah Volti, Lotta Wubbenmoy and Leah Codina to sweep up any danger that was created at the other end.
And we found the breaking through in the 39th minute.
We did. A Katie McCabe corner was delivered into the box and headed back across the face of goal by Stina Blackstenius, who rose above the defender, and it was headed straight into the path of Chloe Lacasse, who was able to dispatch the ball into the back of the net with a close-range header, making the score
1-0 to Arsenal.
And we didn't have to wait all that long to double our advantage. Blackstenius, right in the thick of the action once again, was brought down by the London City keeper while she was through on goal, and despite the protests from the shot stopper, the referee pointed to the spot. Kim Little, our regular penalty taker, stepped up, and in characteristic fashion, our skipper buried the spot kick into the net to give the Gunners a 2-goal cushion going into the halftime break.
We carried the intensity into the second half of the game.
We did, and before the hour mark, Chloe Lacasse doubled her personal tally after some great work by Stina Blackstenius, again down the wing, who crossed the ball into the middle. It was helped along and then slotted coolly and calmly by Lacasse to make the score 3-0.
And then our number 23 made an immediate impact for the bench.
Alicia Russo, she came on after 70 minutes, and Frida Mornham, also on the pitch at this point, marking her 100th appearance for the club, sent in a superb cross into the penalty area, where Russo nodded the ball into the net, making it 4-0. With the Gunners now firmly in the driving seat, it was time for a senior debut from 17-year-old academy prospect Vivian Leah, who came onto the field in the 82nd minute, and she shone down the left flank with some fine footwork and excellent vision. But despite a few late chances falling to us to further extend our lead, the scoreline remained at 4-0 to mark our spot in the Conti Cup Final Four.
What does it mean for the team, Ben?
Well, the draw for the next round has already taken place, and we're going to be playing Aston Villa at home at Meadow Park on March the 6th in the semi-final. Before then, however, we are back to Women's Super League action this weekend when the women's team face Manchester United at a sold-out Emirates Stadium.
Okay, well, let's leave that for the team highlights there in part one. and we'll be right back after this for part number 2.
Welcome back, and we're doing a legend profile on Arsenal women's legend Rachel Yankey, MBE and OBE, who was born on the 1st of November 1979 in London.
And she began playing football as the only girl in a boys' team.
She did. At the age of 8, she actually shaved her hair off and pretended to be a boy called Ray. And she played in the boys' team for 2 years before her real identity was discovered. At youth level, she joined Mill Hill United before she joined Arsenal in 1996, with her first senior appearance coming for the Gunners when she was just 16 years of age. She stayed at the club for 5 years, making 47 appearances and scoring 8 goals.
She then became the first professional female football player in England.
She did when she signed for Fulham Ladies in the year 2000. After spending some time at Fulham, she went to Birmingham, then to New Jersey Wildcats, and then at the beginning of the 2005-2006 season, she rejoined the Gunners, where she stayed on for a further 11 seasons, making 151 appearances and scoring a further 43 goals.
Due to the poor reporting and statistics keeping on the women's players, we don't have a lot of other information on Rachel.
Yes, it's a little bit unfortunate that we don't, but what we do have and what we can share with you is a very long list of achievements that Rachel won with the Arsenal within her 15-odd seasons with the club over the 2 stints. She won the FA Women's National Premier League. That was before the Women's Super League, the old Division 1. She won that 6 times with the Gunners. She won the Women's Super League with the Gunners 2 times. She won the FA Women's Cup 9 times with the Gunners, the League Cup 4 times, and the UEFA Women's Cup, now the Champions League, once in 2007. It truly is a decorated career.
And international, the winger played for England.
Yes, internationally she played for England, of course, making her debut in 1997 and scoring on that debut over Scotland. She was a regular in the England lineup for many years, making a total of 129 appearances for England, scoring 19 goals along the way. She also represented Great Britain at the 2012 London Olympics, where she made 5 appearances.
She played mostly as a winger or forward.
She did, and she had pace and skill to boot, and the livewire Rachel had amazing off-the-ball movement, quick feet, and was a potent finisher, making her an asset to her team and also a constant threat to the opposition. And marking the 10th anniversary of the Women's Super League, Rachel was the second inductee into the Women's Super League Hall of Fame, with her creating more chances than any other player in the inaugural season of the Super League.
Okay, let's wrap this episode up. Thanks again for joining us at Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Before we sign off, we want to express our gratitude to you for your continued support. If you haven't already, follow, like, and subscribe so you don't miss episodes in the future, because your love for the beautiful game is what fuels our passion.
And we would love for you to spread the word about Arsenal Kids Podcast.
Yes, please share our podcast with other Arsenal kids that you know and help us to grow this amazing community together.
We hope to join you back in the pitch again soon.
Keep the spirit of the game alive, and until next time.
Goodbye.